Right, this is chapter 4, lessons 2 and 3. So I'm combining 2 lessons into one video. And it's because the ideas in both lessons are pretty similar. And here you're going to learn to multiply fractions together. So this is all from California Math, your Common Core edition, course 1. And so the rule to multiply fractions together is you have a given fraction here, so a over b, and another fraction here, c over d. And multiplying fractions is actually really nice. You just multiply straight across. So sometimes you'll hear it described in that way. So what I mean by that is you just take your 2 numerators and you multiply those together. And you take your 2 denominators and you multiply those together. Now when you learn to add fractions, it's going to be a completely different process. So be sure to learn how to multiply fractions correctly first before trying to learn how to add fractions, which involves totally different steps and can often be a little bit harder. But for multiplying fractions, that's a nice, easy process, provided we do it carefully. So let's start with an example. Here we're going to multiply 3 times 5 over 7. You might say, wait a minute, 3, we're talking about multiplying fractions, and 3 is a whole number. And that's true, but you can always rewrite this whole number, 3, as 3 over 1. So 3 times 5 sevenths. The number 3 is equivalent to the fraction 3 over 1. And now I can just multiply straight across. 3 times 5 is 15. And 1 times 7 is 7. And there's my answer. 3 times 5 over 7 is 15 over 7. We should always make sure that our fractions are in simplest form, and this one is in simplest form. There's no common factors between 15 over 7. And later, in example 3, I'll show you how to be a little bit more careful in this step to where you can kind of simplify your fraction and simplify your answer and complete the multiplication in almost one step. Right, so here we didn't have to worry about that just because there's no common factors between 3 times 5 and 1 times 7. Right, so that completes example 1. Example 2 is a word problem, and I like this problem because it shows what does it mean to multiply a fraction times a whole number? Like numerically, what is that answer telling you? So Angie spends 3/5 of her 8-hour workday at her desk. So maybe the other 2/5 she's spending outside. How many hours is she at her desk? So here, if we multiply 3/5 times 8, we're taking 3/5 of this number 8, and that'll give us how many hours she's at her desk. So let's go ahead and do that multiplication. So what is 3/5 of 8? You find that by multiplying 3/5 times 8. Let's go ahead and rewrite 8 as a fraction. So 8 is equivalent to 8 over 1. I might want to check for some common factors between the 8 and the 5, the 3 and the 1, because this will make some steps down the road a little bit easier, but there's no common factors in this case. So if I didn't think of that step, I'd be okay here. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and just multiply across. 3 times 8 is 24. And 5 times 1 is 5. Now, this is the right answer, 24/5 hours. But I think we could get a better understanding of the actual, get a better feeling for how many hours she's spending at her desk by rewriting this as a mixed number. So 5 goes into 24 4 times. You'll have 4 left over, so 4. And because I'm doing this particular word problem, I really wanted to kind of give an answer that, that was easy to understand. Angie spends 4 and 4/5 hours at her desk during a workday. These numbers, 24/5 and 4 and 4/5, are equivalent, but I feel like this is somehow an answer that is more, it really captures how much time she's spending at her desk a bit better than saying 25 over 5. All right, so just one final example, example 3. Now it will have several parts to it, but still we'll go ahead and work it out. Here we're going to multiply fractions together again. So let's take a look at the ones we picked. So example 3, find the product. And we want to be sure to write answers in simplest form. So reduce the fractions if we can. Write answers in simplest form. So we'll have 3 that we'll work on. 2 over 5 times 7 over 3. B will be 5 over 6 times 4 over 35. And letter C will be 3 over 8 times 14. So those are the 3 that we'll work out. If you want to pause the video now and try it, you should. You're just going to use this rule up here. But there are some differences between the multiplications that you do here and the multiplications from example 1 and 2. So I'll show you what those differences are. But if you want to try it, you always can. Okay, so let's start with letter A. 2/5 times 7 over 3. So using my rule, I just multiply straight across. 2 times 7 is 14. And 5 times 3 is 15. 14 and 15 have no common factors, so this answer is written in simplest form. So A, pretty straightforward. Now let's take a look at B. And B, I started to introduce some new ideas that we haven't seen yet before. So initially you might think to start in the same way. 5 over 6 times 4 over 35. You could multiply straight across. 5 times 4 is 20. Put your 20 down here. 6 times 35, kind of work out what that number is. I think it's 210. And so you get, I think, 20 over 210, which does reduce, and those numbers kind of got big. There's a way that you can kind of check before you start to do your multiplications to maybe make life easier and keep the numbers small if you find certain common factors. So let me just write it this way. So I'm not going to actually do the multiplication quite yet, but I'm going to go ahead and write it down. So 5 times 4, 6 times 35. I haven't done that in the previous ones, and there's for a specific reason. The reason is that I noticed between some of my numerators and denominators, I have common factors. So between this numerator and this denominator, I have a common factor of 2. Between this numerator and this denominator, I have a common factor of 5. That turns out to be useful to kind of deal with those common factors before you do the multiplication to keep the numbers small and help you out with writing your final answer in simplest form. So what we do is we look at this fraction and we divide out by the common factors. So 5 and 35, it's always a numerator for numerator and denominator that you're comparing. 5 and 35 have a common factor of 7. So if I divide that out, 7 goes into 35 5 times. Sorry, 5 goes into 35 7 times. And 5 goes into 5 once. Right, so the common factor between 5 and 35 is 5. The common factor between 5 and 35 is 5. And now 4 and 6 also have a common factor of 2. 2 goes into 4 twice. And 2 goes into 6 3 times. And now what I have left over is a much smaller numbers to multiply out. 1 times 2, so 1 times 2 is 2. And 3 times 7 is 21. And provided I canceled as much as I could over here, my answer will be in simplest form. I won't have to kind of work any harder over here. If you didn't like this method, then you'd still get the same answer. What one would do is still multiply straight across. 5 times 4 is 20. And 6 times 35, you may have to work that one out to the side. It ends up being 210. 20 and 210 have a common factor of 10, so I can cancel that out to get the same answer. 2 over 21. So either method works. In this case, this cancellation wasn't so bad. I'm recognizing that 10 is a common factor of 20 and 210. So this jump to this jump wasn't too difficult. But sometimes it can be kind of time consuming to reduce our fractions to simplest form. So here we got a bit lucky. If we did it this way, then we would have kind of done all our cancellations before doing the multiplications, and so that's how we got to this answer 2 over 21 a bit faster. Okay, so let's take a look at the last one, letter C. So I'm multiplying a fraction times a whole number. So go ahead and convert that whole number to a fraction, 14 over 1. I just quickly check, do I have common factors between 3 and 1 or 3 and 8? The answer is no. But 14 and 8 have a common factor of 2. So I'm going to go with this method, where I just write the product down. And then do a little bit of cancellation. As I said, 14 and 8 have a common factor of 2. 2 goes into 14 7 times, and 2 goes into 8 4 times. And now I go ahead and do my multiplications. 3 times 7 is 21, and 4 times 1 is 4. This fraction is in simplest form. I kind of took care of any common factors in this step, so I'm done with that. I'm done with that problem. Good.